In this video, we're going to describe how to use the Connectivity Manager class to interact with a user's data saver preferences. So applications, they tend to consume data just by their very nature. And as developers, it's our job to kind of minimize the impact on their wallet, especially if they're on a metered network. Now, that's not the whole goal, but that's one of the key goals. So to get started here, I'm just going to highlight a segment of code here. I've picked on just a couple statuses I want to focus on, just background status if they're disabled or enabled or what's whitelisted, that kind of thing. Again, this will make sense here in a few moments. So with 7.0 or API 24 and above, we now have more visibility into these type of things so that we can make the app behave differently or just obey certain environmental conditions, right? And this makes our apps more popular. So if I come down here just to look at some code here, Connectivity Manager, this is the most probably important class we're going to cover in this video. So what you want to do is instantiate an instance of this object, all right? And you're going to call get system service and context.connectivity service. Now, what I'm about to tell you is it's a very specific case, but it's one that you can extrapolate, expand on, and apply in your own application or in your own environment. So the Connectivity Manager has this is active network metered now. All right. So I can now really ask, not do I have a connection, because I can also ask that, but what I'm really interested in is this a metered connection? Is this a fee-based cellular line, for example? All right. Because if we're on Wi-Fi, we don't have to do, certain things, or we can say we can do more aggressive data things like send an update to the application, that kind of thing. So one of the first things you can do again is ask, is this a fee-based network? And then if it is, we want to check for certain things. All right. So what is the status, or basically what can I do in the background? So get restrict background status. So if I push my app to the background, and oftentimes, let's think about when apps update. So they're not necessarily on, for example, but they're reaching out to their home server. Do I have, or maybe to the store? I'm on version 23. Is there version 24? That kind of thing, right? And if it is, it automatically downloads and it says, there's updates available. Different scenarios. So what this really means is, if your app is not in the foreground, all right, you can apply restrictions or check for them and that type of thing. All right. So if it's in the background, am I on the whitelist? Am I allowed to still do that depending on if I'm in the background or the foreground? All right. Can I have my status restricted? That type of thing. All right. So again, I'm trying to give you some ideas here, but basically with the knowledge that your app is in the foreground or silently in the background and you're on a metered network, you are now able to do a lot of different workflows depending on the state. Okay, so in many cases you might want to do basically nothing if the app is working in the background and it's restricted on a metered network. If you want the users to kind of keep using your app and stuff, you shouldn't be really doing very much. So don't send them any updates, all that kind of thing. All right, so this has been a description on the Connectivity Manager class in Android 7.0 API 24 and some of the capabilities you have around data saver capabilities.